Welcome back. The beginning of season 2.
Hell yeah.
Holy shit.
New studio.
New studio, new environment. Yeah.
New illustrator.
New illustrator. We got David in the house, Cabassa.
Mega Supremo.
Mega Supremo.
Yes,
what?
Yes.
Glad to have you.
A lot of new shit here.
I like this. Something new for people. We're looking at each other.
Yep.
I'm not going to have a sore neck in the morning. Kind of
Handheld
excited.
mics. Feel like a rapper out here.
And what episode is this?
Oh, it's episode 40.
Episode 40.
Episode
All right.
40, season 2. We got a new intro that you just saw.
Moving
Frankie
along.
smashed it on that thing
Killed it.
with the neon, and then we got the neon up here to match it. So
Yeah, we actually built a log cabin. This is a log cabin. We're in the back of the new studio. So
yep.
Had to wait for Netflix to renew us.
yeah,
Exactly.
they're hurting these days.
Yeah.
You know, Netflix. You need some content for your show.
Yeah, it's right here. Yep.
Spotify.
The life of a graphic designer.
know?
You need something.
For
got
sure.
you.
Yeah. We got the view of Mount Hood out the window.
Beautiful.
So good. Yeah. Stoked on that.
Wait, so there's still snow up there? It's freaking summertime.
Yeah, it looks like it, huh? Yeah.
Don't they be like climbing freaking Everest training?
They're snowboarding up there still.
All year round.
All year round. Shout out to Will. We got Will back in the house.
Oh yeah, good to have you,
Running
Will.
the show behind
Very
the camera.
creative.
Yep. Stoked on that. He gave us some nice new gifts for the wrap up of season 1. So stoked on that. Thank you, Will. We're gonna go back to doing some comments from the YouTube channels. So what do we got, Will?
Landon Klein writes, I'm a self-taught designer with a hunger to succeed in the industry in the long term. Do you have any pointers for someone like me to land an entry-level job?
Mega Supremo is a great example of just consistency. He just kept sending the pieces. We're like, maybe, and then he sent a piece, sent another piece, and proved that he was the guy, and we were impressed. Just stay consistent, in my opinion. Obviously, you need to have a little bit of skills and technical ability, but we're assuming you already have that, so it's just staying on the radar. I mean, even if you need to get crazy and who's the owner of the place or the hiring manager, what's their favorite bar, I would be at that bar every night. I would be accidentally bumping shoulders. I mean, this is what it comes down to these days when it's like this competitive market. Whatever you got to do to get in,
You submit your work, your resume once. I would say do it again, week or two later. Just kind of keep checking in because you don't know what's going on behind the scenes. A lot of people that we do hire, I will hire freelance to do a project or two, see how that works and then go from there. And he smashed it on the project,
I mean, he even went above and beyond and was doing like some custom Lincoln pieces for fun, just like, here, check this out. And I'm like, oh shit, like this is one of my favorite pieces, that it's going to be a t-shirt here soon. So I think that stuff's a good idea. David, the other Dave, did some stuff where he's not even an animator, but he animated our logo and sent it in, and it just brings you above the rest of the crowd. And you're like, okay, they have skills, they care. Really what we want is people who care. We're going to be sitting with these people nonstop all day, so we just want them to have that love, for it.
We see the passion when you put in the passion. So like, for example, if you have something you're excited about or a project that you doing on the side, go for it, go that extra mile, put in that extra work. And we see that, it's like when you're excited about something, it translates through the work too.
Great example of an entry-level gig that you could get today is in your town. Gig posters are big everywhere. They're always needing artists to do those. If you can find out who's running those concerts, show them your stuff. I know for me, I did a ton of those. You can kind of do whatever you want. They just want something that looks rad. Can be great portfolio pieces, especially if you get to do what you want, put your thumbprint on it, and they can lead to other things. There's tons of people in your city that are hiring for work.
Lethal One writes, are you going to be at Designer Con in November? And also, would you ever consider making some Lincoln design decals to put on the back of a car or truck?
Nice. Yes, we will be back at Decon.
Definitely be there. We'll take the motorhome down there. Probably just Dan driving this time instead of like 20 of us in the rig. But we'll have
a bit of a long
we'll
haul.
have to fly down
Road
there.
trip.
But yeah, we'll be there for sure. And decals, I mean, we have some stickers in the shop right now. I don't know what you're looking for decals,
Maybe
but
we do some like vinyl.
I think that's what he's talking about.
Just just cut out vinyl.
For sure. Yeah, which we could do that.
Yeah,
We have some bigger ones now, stickers. That are cool for cars, but
Dan's got vinyl, die cut vinyl on his car, and it looks good. So, maybe that's something we should sell.
Yeah, great idea.
Hibu writes, How do you avoid getting obsessed with the attention to detail? What's the point where you say, that'll do, love your work, cheers?
It's a battle.
Yeah, I mean, I could personally spend forever on one logo.
Yeah.
I could, if you gave me 10 years, I could tweak that thing for 10 years. So there just got to be a timeline and a cutoff, and
The client deadline usually is the dictator for that one. It's like, gotta get it out the door. So here we go.
If you have that deadline at the forefront of your mind as soon as you start, because it can be real easy to sort of feel like you have all the time in the world at the beginning, and then when the last hour's creeping up, you're like, oh no. So just try and keep that deadline right up front, and know your pace, know what you can do in a certain amount of time.
Brittany Moore writes, open discussion on entry-level designer pricing. I've been charging a flat rate per piece rather than hourly. Is there a right answer?
Hourly, if it's production work, works great, but trying to charge hourly for a design project sometimes can be tough.
yeah, it's a battle. I would say it's definitely a case-by-case basis. There's definitely a lot of resources out there that talk about how to bill and, you know, take all your expenses into account and all that stuff. I mean, David was doing freelance for a while. He probably has a good insight on this, but
Yeah, I would say it's something you learn as you continue to do it. But a sort of experiment I would try is if you're in a position where you could, if you get approached for a job and this is a job you could turn down and it's maybe not one you're psyched about, that's a great time to experiment raising your prices. You'd be surprised sometimes. You just say, hey, I'm going to try charging, 1.5x instead of 1x. And they're just like, cool, sounds good. And you're like, whoa, is that my new price?
Yeah.
And it is.
yeah.
A lot of illustrators and designers out there are undervaluing their work. So you can always try experimenting raising that price.
This week, we're going to kind of do something a little bit different. We're going to dig into some design, illustration, basically some of our favorite books. It's almost more important now today because to me, like I've talked about this before, don't look at Instagram. If you're starting a new project, you want inspiration, need inspiration, whatever it is, go to your library. Hopefully you do have some books, that you can go back to. Go to your books, look at books and to get that inspiration because nobody else is probably looking at that book for the at the same time. Instagram, we're all getting fed the same shit.
This is that crate digging mentality. You go and find this stuff because you're excited about it, you love it, and you want to find those gems and things. And so we brought a few here that we're excited about that aren't necessarily main bangers on the internet or whatever. There are a few, but we brought some obscure things too that we think you guys might like. So
Jordan, you want to kick it off? You want to go through
I'll
your
do
two?
that
You got to dig
for
through the
what-
pile here.
Yeah, let me
Yep.
see here. I got a good one in here somewhere. This
Yes.
Ephemera book. Joshua Minich is a local Portland designer here.
Shout
He's
out
done
Josh.
just done a great job of putting this together, and it's full of, I don't know if you guys will see a good preview of this from here, but we'll put it on the screen. Tons of vintage like labels, package design, boxes, all these different, milk caps, just a ton of stuff from the past that he's found and took photos of, and all that stuff is just a great Kickstarter to inspire you to see like what people have done with like minimal colors, like just simple layouts. Like that's an aesthetic that I've always gravitated towards and respect.
And I think he owns most of this stuff as
I
well,
was
which is
just gonna
pretty
mention
crazy.
That's part of it is like
photos,
his eye for the curation of it is he's out there digging, finding these pieces in thrift stores and antique places and garages and stuff, and actually going back to take the photos of them himself. So
And his design style is very, similar to these pieces. So it's a cool thing,
Totally.
I'm a fan. Yeah, he's awesome.
yep,
Doesn't he have number 2?
he does.
Right?
Yep, it's like letterheads,
Okay.
real detailed letterheads and stuff like that. So
That's cool.
yeah, go check that out, man.
Yeah, that's a
Great
good
book.
one. Yep.
I mean, shit, he just dropped a font that is super cool. It is nothing like you've kind of ever seen before. It does look like it would live in that realm. So, yeah, he's doing his thing.
That's cool.
Totally.
All right, let's go around like this. Dusty, what
All
do you
right.
got? Which
All
one?
right, we
Want
gotta
me to grab
start.
it for you. You got
Hold on.
Yeah. there you
All
go.
right, so this is one of my favorites here.
That's an oldie.
It's kind of
Yeah.
old. A lot
It's
of
great.
design books are theory, not technical. So I like a little bit of the technical side. So 2 of the pages in this book specifically are just freaking amazing. The whole book is great. Hold on here.
There's a lot of info packed into that book.
That's
yeah,
a gem.
Yeah,
It's
pretty
definitely not
rad.
Adobe based, but they are going to get into Bezier curves and all that technical stuff. So the best part is basically every logo layout pretty much you could ever think of. So this is a great starting point, whether you're experienced or a beginner. It even talks about how to, a lot of clients are like, hey, go ahead and flip this design from someone else. So even just right here, they'll tell you what is an original inspiration, the literal adaptation, all the way down to something that is the same formula, but very different. Here's the second page with color. This is just my favorite book. This is the go-to, kind of how Jordan mentions he goes to the Ephemera book all the time. This is something that's just at the top of my desk always. And if you don't know how to do Bezier curves, they're going to break it down real nice and simple for you there, and shit's awesome.
Red choice.
Yeah.
It's a good one. David, what do you got?
All right.
Oh, shoot.
Oh, I didn't realize
Got
Got a stack of 'em.
some magazines.
So we kind of tell who the illustrator in the group is. I got some Mad magazines today.
sick.
These are pretty old.
Dude,
These
those are old.
like 79. Some of them have like records in here.
Wow.
But some absolute legends of cartooning are in here. You've got Mort Drucker, Al Jaffe. You get great examples of just like some kind of layouts for kind of comic style stuff. The line work in these is incredible. Caricatures. A lot of your favorite artists probably will reference Mad Magazine, and I've always kind of come from that mentality of like, who does your favorite person
The detail.
like?
Yeah,
you
we
know,
were just dealing with a client a month or two ago, and it was very heavily referenced on Mad Max. So just see these come up in person is super fun. This is a 45 right here.
Dude, that's
in the magazine.
You can punch that out and
Wow.
and put that on a record player.
Incredible.
I haven't done it, obviously. It's still-
Wow.
You got to keep it in there.
Yeah,
that's cool.
yeah, these are great, and this is going back to the source. So you could do a riff on that and look contemporary, but instead of ripping some art you see on Instagram, you're kind of going a couple steps back and then remixing it. I love the reference you have about crate digging. It's kind of the same thing of
sure.
sampling and flipping a sample. And
I mean, it's better to visually sample from the source than 2 or 3 people down the line. You know what I mean?
yeah, for sure.
That's cool. Great one for
Yeah,
sure.
that was great.
Yeah, good.
Definitely could tell we were all hyped on that one. We all crowded around the table and we're,
for sure.
these other 2 books over here, trash.
That's rad. No, it's fun. Cool. So I'll do this one. Going to, I don't know, a lot of people probably have, I think some designers have skateboard books with graphics and things. This is one that's one of my favorites. It's a little bit different. Agents Provocateurs. So this one basically highlights skateboard graphics that are somewhat controversial. You got Mark McKee, a lot of the old blind graphics, stuff like that. But then it kind of talks about like the graphic, what happened with the graphic, if they got a cease and desist or whatever. So super rad book. Some of the stuff is super heavy.
It's gnarly, which
Yeah.
in general, art
You
is
got
supposed to...
Manson with Charles Manson with Snoopy. It's like
That's a great one.
there's some heavy shit in here. Slave, so I got a Slave shirt on. Ben Horton, super rad. Illustrator, check him out. He's done a lot of gnarly graphics. We actually worked with him at Black Box on some Zero mystery boards back in the day.
Yeah,
So,
his line style alone is amazing, but everything he does is amazing. Dude.
that-
This board is classic.
Alien vs Predator.
Yeah.
Like it's all this shit
Oh, man.
in this book. Like so good.
Heavy.
So art is supposed to evoke feeling, whether
yeah.
it's extreme, good, bad, the ugly. And I feel like it's kind of changed a little bit these days, especially with Instagram. You post something that's gnarly, you're getting flagged, blocked, whatever. So are people really buying zines these days? How would you do the modern day version of, doing this edgy art and getting it out there to the
It's
people?
gnarly.
Like if your mom's not scared, that's whack.
So check this out if you guys want a fun book, skateboard
Yeah.
graphics, but a little bit edgy. Cool, Jordan.
All right.
What do you got for your
Let me
second
bust
one?
out a second one here.
Yep.
This one here is kind of special to me because I do a lot of patterns here at Lincoln.
Pattern God.
Pattern
is
God.
called Visions of Symmetry, and it's by MC Escher. And I don't know if you guys know MC Escher, but he's like this classic illustration guy and pattern guy. I don't even know what you want to call him. Basically just an artist, you know.
Wait, so he didn't have the pattern swatch maker and illustrator? Is that what you're saying?
This
Holy.
dude is doing it all by math, grid paper, you know. But for me, this is a great way to get in and see like how you can interlock things and make patterns out of nothing, you know, and how it all comes together. It's inspiring just to see what he does and how his mind works.
Yeah, the positive and negative space on some of those is amazing. He's got like such a balance for it.
What's the illustration of the steps that he did? Where
It's like infinite room or whatever.
Everybody,
yeah.
I'm sure, has seen that, but that
Or where
thing's
he's
so
like
gnarly.
holding the glass ball
glass,
or whatever
yeah.
it is. Yeah. Crazy.
Yeah, he's classic.
Yep.
Can you hand me that morning breath over there, Jordan? So you can see we're definitely, you know, we love skate art here. It's definitely a huge influence. These dudes, got to meet them. We were lucky. These guys are freaking awesome. You know, there's some OGs in the game. Originally worked at Think Skateboards back in the day with Mike Giant. Love their style. I mean, everything nowadays is characters and cartoons and silliness. Where these dudes are doing it right. They're actually drawing it on paper.
Ben
which is,
doing it.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy. They're drawing on paper. They're scanning stuff, but they ain't got no, texture packs or, stipple brushes. It's the real deal. But just the content they have and the clients they work for, it's my favorite stuff. But it's great reference. And these dudes, they're on Insta, they're online, but they're a little more, kind of, I don't know, they keep to themselves a little bit. So to get the book, you're actually going to see pieces that you've never seen before. Where, boy, I've bought a bunch of design books, and you've seen every piece on Instagram that's in the book. So, why buy the book in that case,
Yep.
There's also a ton of stuff in that book that you've seen, but you didn't know that they did, like Kanye West album cover.
That's not exactly
Jay-Z.
their style. That I think they did the Eminem logo.
Yeah, they've done a ton of music stuff that you'd be shocked.
Just a great vibe overall. Like good colors, good illustration, good type work. Big fan of these dudes.
David, what you got?
All right. Here's another sort of illustration heavy, nerdy one. Is Charles Burns' Black Hole. So this is just like a straight up graphic novel.
Hold on, can you say that 3 times fast? I'm just teasing, yeah.
And he's actually he's from Seattle, I think. Okay. So his line work in here is incredible. I'm sure Brandon is probably a fan of this. Brandon's got some incredible line work. And he's doing all this with a brush.
Wow.
And so taking it to Escher, an example of sort of that negative, positive space. This is a great one.
So they're not using a tapered brush in Procreate, is what you're saying.
No, yeah. Again, that Winsor Newton Series 7. He's busting this out, busting out the ink. You gotta pull out some Pro White if you want to fix a mistake. So this is a great one just for illustration reference for me when I'm doing line work, when I'm doing something that's maybe heavy on the black and white, and I want to keep that balanced.
I was going to mention
he's the master of that.
How much black he uses in his illustration. It's like for me when you draw on like a white background, it's hard to get as much contrast and black in there as you can. And when you see somebody like that uses so much black, Brandon does a good job of using black too. It brings a heaviness to your illustration. So.
Yeah, and he crosses over a little bit into some commercial illustration. In the 90s, there was that OK Soda that launched very briefly.
Dude, how long did this book take to illustrate?
I mean, years.
Holy shit!
Yeah.
How many books does he have? Does he have more?
Yeah, he's got a ton of comics. I mean, he's sort of from a generation. I don't know that you can necessarily do this today, but he's from that generation, like R. Crumb and Daniel Klaus, where they're lucky enough where they can just spend their days doing comics, and then they turn in their book and they sell it, and then they sell original pages, and they can make their living entirely off of just doing comics. I don't know how many people can do that these days, but
totally.
he's an OG.
Yeah,
Cool shit.
yeah, that's rad. That's a great one.
Yeah, good pick.
Dan's going to be
Cool.
buying some new books here.
I know, right? We're gonna go broke buying books.
Yeah.
I want to do this one. Not that it's my favorite. I just think it's something great that people, if you don't know about Crap Hound, you should check it out. So there's this series of books called Crap Hound. This is a compilation of, I don't know if it's all the books, or I think there's a series of like 10 different, they're probably like 20, 25 page, basically books that have clip art in them from all different styles, whether it's like there's a section on skulls and death, bunch of different shit. And it's just cool to look through here if you're looking for, say, a skull or something like that. But be careful, because people have scanned and used a lot of shit out of these.
And a lot of people
straight
have,
up
you know.
as is, you know. And you can, it's like all royalty free shit, but don't just use it as is. There's just some great ideas as far as the idea, the content and stuff like that. So
See how to do something different.
Yeah.
You know, you can look at something and be inspired by it instead of just lifting it, you know.
yep. So yeah, check it out. Very good. So bunch of books. We could keep, like I said, we can keep going on and on. This thing would get super long.
Yeah, maybe in like 5 or 10 episodes we'll do
Yeah.
another one.
Yep.
Y'all let us know if you want us to do that.
Yeah. Let us know if you like this. I could sit here all day and pick through books, you know,
Yeah.
and
I
talk
love
about them.
books too.
Yeah. So we'd love to do it again if you guys dig it. So cool.
Hell yeah.
All right. So we got a project, actually a bunch of different projects we've done over the last couple of years for Minions. So we worked on some of this stuff 2 years ago. The release of the new movie got basically put on hold and paused because of COVID, and then it finally came out recently. So I want to run through some of that work quickly. Not all of it, because we did 2 or 3 different style guides, packaging, a bunch of different stuff for them. But first off, this first slide. So Despicable Me was a movie that came out that Minions were in. They were the little characters that were like helping the bad guy out, and the whole deal. I don't think at any point were they supposed to have their own movie, but everyone dug them so much in the Despicable Me movies, they're like, shit, we got to do something with this, and then basically gave them their own movie. So it's kind of cool to see, you know, kind of the cause and effect of a good character in a movie. All of a sudden, boom, you got a spin-off, and you got your own, you know. Yeah, I don't know that they'll ever go back and make another Despicable Me. I mean, now Gru, the main guy, is in the Minions movies, you know.
He's like a sub character to them.
Yeah, yep, exactly. Yeah, so, but yeah, let's run through some of this. So, we did a ton of character illustrations. We were asked to do a bunch of different styles, a whole 70s kit. And so basically Davey went in heavy on all the character illustration. And then we built out a whole kit of badges and type and things that you guys worked on.
Yeah, just to see the main character Gru as a child here is just super funny to me. I'm not very familiar with the property, but that's just super fun.
Davey went in on doing everything from, you know, the dudes with afros to riding little tricycles and the whole thing. So, and then the whole type kit, which you guys dug in on that. Every little minion dude has a name and a different style and look. So
Sometimes we didn't even know what we were typing out. Like it says like Papoy, and we're like, what is that a name? Is that just a saying? Like, you know, it's like kind
Did somebody spell check this?
Yeah, so that was interesting.
and then this was a fun one.
These are fun. This
Yeah.
looks good. Just the whole kit together, the same color palette just does something already by itself.
They had a deal with Levi's where you're going to be able to go into the Levi's store, pick a jacket. All these patches we designed would be there. You could pick like 3 or 4 patches. They would sew them on your Levi's jacket, and you could, you know, leave with that jacket. That was all put on pause because of COVID in the movie. So I don't know that they ever went back and actually did this, but we did a bunch of fun patches.
Hopefully they bring it back. I've been there and seen that they've done Disney, Mickey Mouse, and done all that. So I mean, this shit's popping right now. So
I've definitely seen the Levi's X Minions shirts like everywhere. Those are kind of popping off right now.
Okay.
So I wouldn't be surprised if these Levi's stores had the patches.
Yeah, shit.
we're gonna have to start digging around and see if we can find something.
Absolutely.
That's always the fun stuff, is to like start digging. You know, we did a tee years ago. Can we go find it? You know, in real life.
Yeah. Some of the stuff we forget and just never even go back.
100%.
Yeah. So then we built out guides, worked with Illumination Studios, which is part of Universal, on different patterns. We had created so many assets for this, from type to character illustrations, different styles, very flat, to Davies highly detailed ones. So kind of lends itself to all these different patterns.
I mean, just the color palette alone looks so good.
Yeah, that all black and white with the yellow pop is a great look.
It's just a very strong color palette. Even the values of the numbers, you have great, separation from 0, maybe about 30 and 100. Love it.
I like how a lot of the illustrations and stuff have a good black line, so we were able to, reduce the art into just one color and make a lot of options for the style guide as well.
And then we were asked to do this whole kind of 70s tea kit. They have some great taglines and stuff that they use, like take a hike with friends and just funny shit. We came, we saw, we left. Funny, sarcastic.
And this stuff looks a little off-brand, but in a fun way. It's not those 3 colors. We are able to explore a little bit more, and color has so much to do to set the design into a setting or a vibe. So you could see it right here.
Yeah.
Just by leaving those 3 tones and putting some funky 70s colors, it just lives in a totally different space.
We moved on to this whole monsters packaging, so turning each of the minions into different monsters. Did the packaging guide, and all the box art and everything. So it was cool. It was a long kind of run of a couple of years of working on this stuff, on and off. And then it was cool to finally see the movie come out, and then kind of the shit that's going on with the kids in the movie theater. And
It's popping out there.
Yeah. You got all the teenagers, the local theater down here, they pulled the movie. Because all the teenagers from the local high school was showing up in suits and bananas and chucking bananas at the screen and going nuts. So they're like, nah, we're done.
Canceled.
Yep, cancel that. So.
Yeah, we actually share a parking lot with the movie theater, one of them. And one of the days I just saw 50 kids, and I couldn't even get out the damn parking lot. I was late getting home, and I think it's because this dang movie. So
they're going to see Minions.
Yeah, it's crazy. You forget, we did this stuff years ago, totally forget about it. And then now, it's coming to the forefront, and you're seeing all the kids loving it and wearing it. So it's pretty cool. Even a bunch of people tagging us on Instagram, like, check out this pattern. Lincoln did it, and forgot about that one.
Yeah, it's cool. Yeah, so fun project, cool client. Hopefully do some more work with that.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Absolutely. All right, so we got a new product in the store.
Hell yeah. Let's see it. What we got?
Just posted these on Instagram, got them up on the shop here. So we got the new Honest Abe rings.
Skull bashers.
Yeah. I have it here on my finger. They're pretty big. If you don't like a big ring, it might not be right for you.
It's definitely a full knuckle. It's big.
Yeah.
Dan's always got a bunch of products in the tuck that he's working on, and we kind of see him sometimes, and this was one that was kind of hidden, and he rolled in one day with a bunch of rings, and I was pretty hyped. And the dude who makes these rings is top notch, great quality, so good manufacturer, great design. I'm hyped to wear it.
Yeah.
It's going to be gone in a little while, and then you might look back in 3 years and wish you snagged one.
Yeah.
You're like, wait, where do I get that ring at? And it's like, you snoozed, you slept. Took
Exactly.
Chances are these will not be remade. We'll probably make an eagle, spitting fire or something next. But this one is probably the only one.
Yep, limited edition for sure. So cool. Nice. Well, yeah. So that is it. That is gonna be a wrap on episode 40. Season 2.
Yep. Good to be back.
It is good to be
Heck
back.
yeah.
New chapter.
Yeah,
man.
I'm digging sitting low and just kind of chilling more so than the tabletop from last time. So
heck yeah.
Yeah, I think it'll be good.
Not looking forward to hiking back over the office after chilling in this cabin.
Man.
Yeah.
I know. Yeah, it could be
I call it
snowy
mini
outside.
Yeah. We got some crampons I could borrow or
right. Yeah. It'll be good. New space. We got some people lined up that are going to come out to sit down in here with us. So.
Oh yeah, we're gonna have a great season.
Yep. Keep it fun as always, and most importantly, we're gonna try to get Dan to get a tattoo in 10 episodes. We will see
10 episodes,
and Will too.
Will's ready. So
face tats all around.
That's gonna come quick. That's a wrap.
Yep. Like, subscribe, comment, hit the bell, and stay tuned for next episode.
Yeah. All right. Thank you guys.